Happy Throwback Thursday. It is a beautiful day in Middle Tennessee. We've got a special guest, Michael Jonathan, will be joining us with Wood Songs Radio Network, and it is our Throwback Thursday. So our throwback feature is going to take us to the Sound Stadium. It's a big, big weekend for the Sounds. The Sounds are going to be having their series preview this weekend, starting tomorrow through April 2nd. It's a lot of fun. There's always great freebies. Always great freebies. But we're going to find out a little bit more about that coming up in the show. Plus, we've got a new friend that's joining our show. My friend Brenda Fielder from Mid-South Exteriors will be joining us, and we're going to talk sunrooms in just a bit. But first, we're going to kick things off with my friend Michael Jonathan, who's joining us live. But I've got to show you this clip. Before we talk to him, his pride and joy, other than his art, are his babies.
Wood Songs Kids, celebrating the music of America's front porch from the Lyric Theater in Lexington, Kentucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's Michaela Rain Jonathan. Welcome to Wood Songs Kids. Here's my daddy, folk singer Michael Jonathan.
Thank you, Michaela. We're going to sing a song together. Ready? Here we go. Sitting on a creaky old rocking chair. You say it's gonna rain, we don't care. Dancing with you all afternoon on the front porch with me. Listen to the rhythm of the summer rain, tapping out a tempo on my window pane. Nothing like summer on my front porch swing, making my banjo ring. I'm playing my banjo on a rocking chair.
You can play your fiddle in your underwear.
Just as pretty as a rainbow in your hair. On the front porch with me. When you're on the front porch with me. Michaela.
Oh, I'm clapping along. That's the sweetest ever. Oh my gosh. And she's oh, it's so good to see you, Michael. It's a beautiful day here. What about how is it in the bluegrass country?
Every day that radiates from you is beautiful.
Oh, thank
you.
So
the sun and the sky happen to cooperate today. They are reflecting your glory.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
How are you?
Always are. I'm so happy, and you've got so much going on. And behind you is your beautiful artwork. You're in that beautiful studio that you made. Michael doesn't just play music and have one of the most successful syndicated shows in the history of radio, but you're a wonderful artist and builder. This cabin you built with your own hands.
It's because I can't afford to pay anybody. I got to do it myself. There's a reason folk rhymes with broke. And so I do all my own work.
Oh, I got you. Well, I beg to differ with you, because you have brought folk music and writing and porch playing and picking right into the forefront. Let's talk first. I mean, you have the Wood Songs Kids program. Let's talk about what you've done with Wood Songs Kids.
Sure. Well, Wood Songs is broadcasting on over 500 radio stations and American Forces Radio Network and 177 countries, and PBS nationwide, and the RFD television network nationwide. And the highlight of each broadcast of those is, whether Bela Fleck is on the show, or Sam Bush, or Judy Collins, or Roger McGuinn, or Chris Thiele, whoever's on the broadcast. This Monday is Mark O'Connor.
Wow.
We always have a youngster play one song in the middle of the broadcast, and that's the highlight of the show. And I was like, what if we did just a show about just the kids?
Yeah.
So Wood Songs Kids was created, and public television is describing it to the programmers as Mr. Rogers meets the Grand Ole Opry. Not that I'm Mr. Rogers. They're just they're describing the format of it. It's only kids. It's 30 minutes long. There's already a whole bunch of radio stations that have become affiliates to air it, and it launches on radio mid-April. It goes to public television mid-May.
it's really beautiful what you've created, not for the just for the kids. You've created this phenomenon, and I love the story. I was just reading it last night in preparation for this about the first time when you had this idea, this little germination of an idea to create Wood Songs, and you put it on cassette. Let's talk about that first little thing that happened.
You know, I was opening for Judy Collins around the country. And we were playing these beautiful, huge amphitheaters like Ravinia in Chicago, or Saratoga Performing Arts Center in New York, and Wolf Trap. And we were driving to the venue one day, and they had on a show called Prairie Home Companion, which I had never heard before. And they had a friend of ours on the show, Sam Bush. We all know Sam Bush. Yeah. Well, he was on the show. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be kind of interesting? I love the live audience. I love the whole thing. Pete Seeger, back in the late 60s, had a show called Rainbow Quest, where Pete would sit around a picnic table with people like, you know, Sam Bush or whoever was around at the time. Not Sam, but I'm giving that as an example. Yeah. And I thought, well, what if you merge Rainbow Quest and what Garrison Keillor was doing, and it was just about the music? Yeah. And I was like, well, how hard can it be to create a live audience syndicated radio show? Can't be that hard. They did it. And so we did it all volunteer run. And our very first bunch of shows, we were so low tech. We would deliver the show to the radio stations on a cassette tape, and they'd have to physically turn the tape over halfway through to get to the rest of the show. The fact that we're here at all is a miracle.
But you know,
the way it started.
It's just, that provides so much hope, because I always laugh because people say, well, you can't do that. Well, you can't do that. Well, you can't do that. I said, meanwhile, there's a kid who just won a whole boatload of Grammys, and she did her album in her basement. I mean, we let sometimes technology and all the no's stop us. And I just love that about you, because I have been a fan of Wood Songs as just a listener. It makes me feel good to hear it. And I can remember when I got the first phone call, they said, would you like to have Michael Jonathan on? And they started telling me all about you. And I said, oh, stop. I already know all about Michael Jonathan. I'm a fan. Yes, because you are like Prairie Home Companion and Mr. Rogers Gathered Together. And it's just wonderful music. And I love how you always say, whoever you are, just pick up the instrument and start playing.
Yeah.
Don't let it stop you.
My whole career trajectory is to me a celebration of America's front porch. You know, the record business, if there is one left, which there probably isn't one for real, you know, most artists are being left out in the dust. There's no, you know, they're not going to get signed. They're not going to get a record deal. They're not going to get a booking agent. There's hardly any venues left. And a lot of bigger artists are now playing the smaller venues because of that. And it's hard. It's really hard. And you can get a half-page story in the regional newspaper. Nobody sees it because nobody reads the newspapers anymore. And so shows like yours, Devin, and things like Wood Songs, they're gateways between artists and the audience. And I believe that artists need to take control of how they approach their audience. So for an artist, for a musician, songwriter like myself to create a Wood Songs, that's because I am supporting the community that I am part of. Yeah. And it's not as a presenter, it's as a fellow artist. I love what you're doing. And here's a big audience. Why don't we share it?
Yes.
Something that Pete Seeger told me a long time ago before he passed. He said, friends are better than fans.
Yes.
And they last forever. And wasn't country music built that way once upon a time?
It absolutely was.
It was all about, you know, the artists were very accessible and fanfare, things like fanfare. And they would stand in line. I remember stories of Garth Brooks in the early days standing on line for 26 hours. Yeah. And his line of fans pizza every now and then to keep them alive while he was signing autographs. Yeah. He just wouldn't quit. And that kind of love, see, to me, love is the greatest transaction of the arts. And people like Devin O'Day and Garth Brooks and others reflect that love, which is why they're successful. And that is the equation mostly missing from the music world these days. And to me, the front porch reintroduces that love.
Just like Minnie Pearl used to say, love them, honey, and they'll love you back.
Isn't that true, though?
It's so simple. It's so simple. And the more accessible we are, I think of Leslie Jordan, the late, the great, the wonderful, was basically a small character actor. And he posted twice a day on Instagram during the pandemic and just lifted people's spirits and made people laugh and became a phenomenon.
Well, that's what you're trying to do. And the hard part, Devin, is we are living in a very unusual culture. You make a mistake of one syllable in one word, you can get canceled. You can lose everything. An artist that puts their neck out like on a broadcast or a podcast, gosh, help them if they make a mistake or if they misstate something or have a well-intentioned idea that is interpreted wrong. Part of love is forgiveness. Part of love accepts imperfection. Part of love allows people to, twist and turn as they're growing and finding their legs. I mean, when I started Woodstock, I was just a traveling singer-songwriter. I didn't know what I was doing. I sucked. But you keep on going because you know that you are surrounded by friends and an audience that accepts the imperfection. And I hope our culture turns around and starts accepting imperfection as part of the human makeup and stop canceling each other and destroying careers. I thought that ended in the 1950s with Senator Joe McCarthy, but it's back again in full force. Yeah. And a lot of artists are scared to stick their neck out and do something unique.
Well, I just love what you stand for, and it's more love, and it's more just like, okay, just and be authentically you. And let's talk real quickly about your art, because I don't want to get out of here about talking about your beautiful art. I love it.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
This is a painting called Resurrection that I'm working on. And it's an artist in the middle of destructive rubble, and what he sees is something beautiful amidst the destruction. And so I finished about 20 paintings when the pandemic started, and we sold them all. And that's what financed Wood Songs 5 and the Painter album, which is a tribute to artists like Van Gogh and Michelangelo. You and I had talked about that back then.
Yes.
There's great stories that a lot of the public don't realize. Like, Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night, next to the Mona Lisa, the most famous painting in world history.
Right.
And he tried 3 times to give it away as a gift. Nobody wanted it. They thought it was terrible. It was very imperfect. His brushstrokes are, if you look at the Starry Night, it's a very imperfect painting. And they thought it was terrible. Today, it's insured for $1 billion. It's the most revered, duplicated, copied, imitated painting on planet Earth.
Right.
Because it's so accessible. And so after that was successful, I kept on painting. And I'm going to have my first art show at the Hopewell Art Museum this fall. So,
I love that. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful story. Well, you've got your guitar. Will you play something for us?
Sure. Since we're talking about colors.
Yeah.
Can you hear that okay?
It's perfect.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. It's for you, Devin. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone that I really care for suddenly appears before me, the only one my arms could hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. I look, the moon had turned to gold, and it's the blue. I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. For all the lonely artists and songwriters out there that are feeling the pressure of a declining music world, you're not alone. People love you. Stay within the sphere of your influence. Don't be ashamed if your biggest stage is your own front porch, because that is the true essence of what your music is supposed to be about.
Oh, that makes my heart feel so good. Thank you for this visit with us. And
I love it. I love seeing you, Devin. You look more beautiful every time I see you.
You're so sweet. Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I was checking my hair for hay because I've been out feeding the babies, but
well, congratulations on all your good work, and the whole world of artists and authors and songwriters appreciate you very much, Devin. You're a hero.
Well, God bless you. You're gonna make me cry, but thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you soon. Okay, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Bye. Love him so much, and he does so much for artists and for folk artists and for just American music. And I love that he shared his time with us today. Well, speaking of colors, my dear friend, I love David Ewing so much. He's an attorney here in town. He has a wonderful Instagram called the Nashville I Wish I Knew, and I thought it's wonderful. It's a lot of looking back, a lot of throwbacks. And the Nashville Sounds sat down with him to talk a little bit about the historic place where this Nashville Sounds now reside.
One of our great sports stories in Nashville is Tom Wilson, who was the owner of a Negro League team here in Nashville called the Nashville Elite Giants that he started in 1920. And not only did he own the team, he eventually owned his own stadium, Wilson Park. The Nashville Elite Giants also played some games here at Sulphur Dell. A lot of people played baseball here in their Negro League days, from Rube Foster to Hank Aaron, played his first Negro League game here. Of course, Jackie Robinson came through here. Nashville was a very popular city. We had a large African-American population. Historic Jefferson Street, which borders the park, is home to 3 historically black colleges. This was a very popular form of entertainment for the African-American community back then. The American pastime united everyone back then, and people loved baseball, and that's what Sulphur Dell offered back then, and later Wilson Park, that if you wanted to see some of the best baseball, there was no better place to go. When Junior Gilliam grew up in Nashville, he obviously watched the Negro League teams here too. It's very fitting that the address of First Horizon is Junior Gilliam Way. Not only did we name it after one of the great baseball players, but someone from Nashville. What we should learn during this Black History Month is the struggle of Jackie Robinson was kind of the struggle of almost the entire African American community. While many older Nashvillians might remember Jackie Robinson playing at Sulphur Dell in exhibition games with the Brooklyn Dodgers, he returned to Nashville in the 60s to speak at the Ryman Auditorium. And his message was more about getting involved in your community and civil rights and voting. And he said that voting was really the most important and powerful tool that anybody could have. And so even after he retired, he was still looking toward the future and making this a better city, state, and country for everyone.
That beautiful story is courtesy of the Nashville Sounds. You can follow their channel on YouTube. They're fantastic. And this week you can be there in the newly renovated, it's modern day. It is no longer Sulphur Dell, but that is where Sulphur Dell was. The series preview is this weekend. The Louisville Bats and the Nashville Sounds will be here at home, and hopefully you will be there too. It's going to be a beautiful weekend for baseball. Just going to say that. Speaking of beautiful weekends, you want to bring one in? Well, you can have one all year long if you have a beautiful Mid-South exterior sunroof.
Hi, I'm Brenda Fielder. At Mid-South Exteriors, our custom sunrooms bring the sunshine in without all the heat and the bugs. And they keep you warm all winter while you enjoy the outdoors all year round. They add real value because we build them like your house to match your house. Or let us save you energy by replacing your windows and old siding. And because we have no retail overhead, we come to you and sell direct to you for less. Call us at 833-8003 or visit us at
MidSouthExteriors.com.
MidSouthExteriors.com. That's a little bit of a throwback too. I've been listening to that jingle for a long time. I love the company, Nashville company, locally owned and operated. You give Brenda Fielder a call and let them bring the outdoors in with a wonderful sunroom that lasts all year. I call it a year-round room. You can enjoy the sunshine. You can enjoy the storms. You can enjoy even the cold weather doesn't bother you with a good sunroom. Well, if you want to see a good weather thing to do, you go walk around Dino Trek, happening right now at the Nashville Sounds. It's time for our daily yummy, and for this we go to a Nashville tradition, the Loveless.
I work out here in the smokehouse at the Loveless Cafe, and I've been here since 2003. I'm usually the first person that's on property every morning. I get here around 2 a.m., shovel out the pit, start a new fire, get ready for each fresh new day. One of our best specials is the watermelon ribs. First, we use a St. Louis cut spare rib. We dry rub it with our own dry rub recipe. We add some brown sugar to that, and we smoke them in our pit. Then I cut the ribs in 3-bone sections, and I slather it in the sauce really well. Then I cut up watermelon. I throw the rind away, and I liberally place that all over the top of the ribs. And then I put them in a slow oven, about 250-degree oven, for about 3 to 3.5 hours. And then they're ready to serve. Ribs and watermelon are such Southern staples, and to see them together on a menu, I'm quite certain that when people come to the Loveless, that's the first time they've ever seen that. Not only will they never forget the name, they'll never forget how good they are.
If it's good weather, man, get on that get on that Harley and ride. Go out there, Highway 100. Man, it's some pretty situations. Right there, Loveless Cafe sits nestled in right there, right at the entrance of the Natchez Trace. And that's why there's always so many motorcycles parked outside, because a lot of people, I always call it's not a biker place by any stretch, but when you have your people who they're just bike enthusiasts, and they go and they ride the Natchez Trace. Well, it's fantastic. They stop off at the Loveless on either side of that. It is a great visit. If you come to Nashville and you want to be a tourist, you don't miss the Loveless Cafe. It's a lot of fun, a lot of things. 50 forward, people my age and over, I'm telling you what, you guys are missing out if you don't know the fun activities at 50 forward. And right now, they're asking us all to participate in the All of Us Research Program.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Joinallofus.org/50 forward brings you our daily giggle.
And look who I find him with.
got another dog with him. But oh wait, he's got a goat in tow. Hey goat, you want to get in my truck too? Come on, hop in there. Everybody just get in. Come on, get in there. Yep, hop in. I'll take y'all with me. Yep, I got a goat and 2 dogs in my truck. Get in the back, just make yourself at home.
Have you ever had dogs like that? I had 2, and they're no longer with me. They were St. Bernard, they were St. Labs. Django and Soldier, and Django and Soldier would bring things home like shoes from other people's houses, like nice shoes. People leave them at the back door. And now don't get mad at me because they were contained, but they found a way. They could scale 6-foot fences. They just like, after a while, it got really difficult. So my place where I am now had a nice containment area for them, but for a while there, I mean, one day I went out and there was a herd of Black Angus cattle in the yard. Thank you, Django and Soldier. I actually found out who they belonged to, but they brought them home. Maybe you have an animal that's like that. I don't know. Let me hear from you if you have a story like this. Let's take a look at some of the things that are going on today. Oh, John Blackwell, thank you so much for being here. I am appreciative that you say such nice things. Perry Armstrong is here. Good morning, Perry. Good morning. He said it's 11 degrees where they are right now in Rugby, North Dakota. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Perry, Steve Burney. Hi, Steve. Hi, Steve. Let's see who else we've got. Oh, I know who this is. This is from LinkedIn. We are on LinkedIn on my page every day, and I bet this is Jason. This is Jason. This interview proves that my clients are some of the best human beings and musicians on the planet. Thank you, Devin O'Day, for shining a light on them. The Michael Jonathan. Well, thank you. I know that's Jason Ashcraft. I know that's him. Mona. Good morning. She's my ride or die. We usually talk every morning. We hadn't talked yet. There at midsouthexteriors.com. Brenda Fielder, Heather Fielder. She's tagging them so they can see that they're on the show today. Oh, and she's tagged our friends from the Nashville Zoo. The Daily Giggle was great. You know what? We have so much fun stuff that we do around here. I want to go back to the Nashville Zoo because yesterday I was there and it was so much fun. And there was something that I found that I'm just going to leave you with because I thought it was the cutest thing. It's a creature. There's always some kind of creatures that, I don't know. You think that you've seen all the creatures, say, oh, we were at the kangaroo kickabout. I know a kangaroo, but I did not know this little fella.
This right here is Cy. He is a double-wattled cassowary. He is 11 years old. So cassowaries are a rat type, cousins to the ostrich, emu, rheas, kiwis, and tinamous. These guys are native to Australia, Papua New Guinea. Cassowaries they kind of look like a dinosaur, modern day dinosaur. They have an amazing toe claw on their feet, on the inside toe. And so other dinosaurs that we know, like the Dilophosaurus, they did very similar things. They had a casque on top of their head, and they also had a toe claw that was very similar. So the casque on top of their head is made out of keratin, and it has like a honeycomb structure on the inside, and that will actually create blood flow through there with the vascular system running through it. Helps echo out their vocalizations, which they make a low bass boom vocalization. They also help thermal regulate their body and attract a mate. You can visit Dino Trek up until July 30th, and you can now meet Cy, the double-wattled cassowary, modern day dinosaur, starting April 1st through October 31st in our Backstage Pass tours.
I saw him yesterday. He was sitting out in the sunshine. Isn't he cute? Well, if you have amazing claw toes, it's the season, girls. Guys, go get you a pedicure. It's the season. Open toes are coming in. Not yet, but we're close. We're close. April 1st happens this weekend. So you know what? Springtime a-coming. Be safe, everybody. Be kind. Thank you for being here. Remember, most of all, you are loved. Have a great day.
We are home, we are family, we are things to do and place to see. Mom and pops, local grown, small business Saturdays. We are Main Street, Main Street, Main Street. We are your Main Street today.